Is DeepSeek useful for coaches, consultants, and experts? You can find it out from this video. So let's jump into the backstory of this, like how this started out. So I started hearing about DeepSeek a couple of weeks ago from various different resources, even from my dad, which meant it made it to the mainstream media. I heard about things like it became the most downloaded app in the App Store. It only cost $5.6 million to do the training. Investors were questioning why other US AI companies were spending billions of dollars to train AI models, and there were headlines about Nvidia and other chip makers stock falling. And the first thing that popped into my mind was a hype alert, because when there is a hype, there is noise, and in the noise there are always misinformation mixed with the facts. So I started out my own research to understand the situation, form my own opinion, and be able to make an educated decision what to do next. And the things that I ask myself, like, what is DeepSeek? What is all about? What is all the hype about? Is it actually a big deal? If yes, why it is a big deal? Would it be useful for coaches, consultants, and experts at all? If yes, how can they use it? And then the question was in my mind that what can be the long-term impacts of it, the wider and long-term impact of DeepSeek. And I decided to share what I found and answer these questions, share my thoughts and predictions on this topic. So we're going to go through a couple of key topics now, like what is DeepSeek? What is open source? Why DeepSeek's move is a big deal? The DeepSeek hype versus reality, and is DeepSeek actually useful for coaches, consultants, and experts? And the last thing, what can be the wider and long-term impacts? Okay, so let's jump into the first one. What is DeepSeek? So DeepSeek is a Chinese artificial intelligence company that was founded in July 2023. In January 2025, they released a chatbot with reasoning capabilities similar to OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude. It quickly became the most downloaded app in the iOS App Store in the US. And the chat is based on DeepSeek's OpenAI, open source AI model. So what is open source? Just really quickly, let's clear this up. So the closed source AI, that means that only the company that created it can see and change the underlying code. And when it comes to open source AI, the code behind the AI model is publicly available for anyone to view it, modify it, and use it. Think of it like a recipe that a master chef shared with words, and anyone can use it, tweak it, improve on it. Besides the code, they also share other tech details publicly with others. We're not going to go into all those details, just these are the key informations. And let's jump into the next one, number 3, why DeepSeek's move is a big deal. So DeepSeek's move could shake up and already shaken up the AI industry by making powerful AI tools available, more accessible to everyone. Funnily, this is something that Facebook wanted to do, to make high quality AI available for free, open source to the market, but DeepSeek beat them to the punch. So those tech-savvy businesses that decide to build their own AI, DeepSeek can be a cost and time efficient option. because they don't need to start from scratch, they can just build on top of DeepSeek. But most coaches, consultants, and experts will only benefit from it indirectly. We will talk more about it later, like how exactly. But for but just the key thing is that more AI innovation will show up building on DeepSeek. There will be faster innovation, and the competition in the AI market is going to generate more tools, better tools, faster. And as I mentioned in a bit later, I will talk more about it if DeepSeek is actually useful for the everyday use for coaches, consultants, and experts. But for now, let's jump onto the next area, which is DeepSeek, the DeepSeek hype and versus reality. So let's talk about this because there are quite a lot of misinformation going around, and I just want to clear up some of it, what the main ones. So DeepSeek said they originally started out where DeepSeek said they could roughly match the performance of OpenAI's one model at a fraction of the cost, so $5.6 million, with fewer and older chips. So that was the first thing that started out, and that news, that announcement by DeepSeek, it kickstarted an avalanche of news. Headlines like it only cost $5.6 million. Investors are questioning why US AI companies are spending billions of dollars to train AI models. Nvidia and other chip makers stocks are falling. Things like DeepSeek became the most downloaded app in the App Store. And it has better reasoning capabilities than ChatGPT. So the way that it thinks is better with a visible thought process. So some of these headlines were actually misleading. And those who only read the headlines and they just jumped on the hype train, they just jumped on the hype train. And but when I dig deeper into the topic, I found some interesting information. So the first one is, so some of the headlines actually suggested the whole DeepSeek chat cost $5.6 million. So it was like misleading headlines, but the reality that there are much more costs behind it. So the final training was indeed $5.6 million, but they actually have an underlying $1 billion infrastructure. So actually they had to invest that lots money into the infrastructure to be able to do the training. Besides that, there are like suspicions and investigations going around that DeepSeek was actually training their own model based on OpenAI's model, which means they didn't start from scratch. They built up on already existing model that they spent a lot of money on actually training previously, like other companies like OpenAI. Although it's not illegal, this thing to do, but it actually breaks OpenAI's terms and conditions, and it is not proven yet. It is a suspicion, and there is investigation around it if this is actually indeed what they did. But if they did, that's a question like on the amount of money they actually spent on it. So there is a bigger picture to understand, to see that reflects the overall cost much better. But if we only look at the focus on the training part, then it's true that what DeepSeek actually achieved is a technical breakthrough, is a significant milestone in the AI evolution. So it's an incredible achievement. So even though there are questionable how much they spent on it, and what are the overall costs, it is if just the training part. That's an incredible achievement. And even big names in the AI industry said that it's an impressive model. It's a more cost-effective way to train models, what they found. And from the end user perspective, this doesn't directly benefit us, but indirectly it will benefit us. And also more about that later. So the next thing is, some articles said that DeepSeek has better reasoning capabilities than ChatGPT. OpenAI's ChatGPT, it thinks better with visible thoughts. So the reality is that when I watched quite a few comparison videos, and for me it's just not clear which one is the winner, if DeepSeek's reasoning model or ChatGPT's reasoning model. They usually compared one to the one model. So sometimes DeepSeek was better, sometimes ChatGPT was better. I can even see that from different, in different situation, one of them is better, the other one is better. So it's not a clear winner. That's one thing. The other thing that's DeepSeek. So the articles said oh, it's DeepSeek actually shows how it is thinking, and it was actually something that it's not like that ChatGPT doesn't do this in the background. It actually does this, just didn't show it to the users. And actually since then ChatGPT also started showing more details on the thought process, how ChatGPT is actually thinking. Okay, the next thing is, so when DeepSeek chatbots or chats was released, there were news around that investors were questioning why US AI companies were spending billions of dollars on training the AI models when it's possible for much less money. And there were news around there won't be that much demand for chips, for AI capable chips. Nvidia and other chip makers stocks were falling. So there's a bit of a disclaimer. I'm not a financial expert, so this is just my opinion. If you need investment advice, then go to or ask your financial advice. So this is just my opinion. So I think that was a huge overreaction and panic around it, without people actually understanding what was happening. They read the headlines, the misleading headlines, and they jumped to conclusion without actually digging deeper and understanding what was happening. And I think it's just a temporary change in the stocks and demands and things like that. So there is no fundamental change in the AI market as I see it. But as I mentioned, it's just an opinion, not an advice. Okay, so there are security and privacy concerns about DeepSeek. These were also raised. I found when I started my research, I found that even yesterday I found new videos and articles around this that is going on. So US and some European countries, they started investigations into this, how secure DeepSeek chat is, what are the privacy around, how they use data. In the US, hundreds of companies and government agencies are now blocking access to DeepSeek over fears about data security and Chinese government access. So some countries are even actually planning to ban DeepSeek overall for everyone. So as I see it, there are a lot of fear around it, there are a lot of panic around it, and the risks are not yet proven. So it might be true, it might not be true, it's still in a big question. We'll see what's going to happen around it. But that is what are the one fact that I want you to pay attention to, that DeepSeek is it's using your data, what you input, your keys through, what you upload. It's using that data, your data, to train that model, and there is no way to opt out from that. So like anything you put in there, they are going to use it for training. On the other hand, ChatGPT, by default, it's doing the same thing. It's also using your data to train by default, but there is an option for you to opt out in the settings. You can do that. Just a bit of general AI security best practices. Always understand, like any tools that you are using, any AI tools, always understand how the tools are using your data, what they're going to do with it. And do not share sensitive information with any of the AI tools unless you really trust that tool with that information. Okay, so the next area is DeepSeek useful for coaches, consultants, and experts? Just a moment. So the answer to this question is yes and no. It depends on. It really depends on the situation. So the first thing is DeepSeek's chat is not a niche tool that was specifically designed for coaches, consultants, and experts. It is a general purpose AI chat similar to OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude. So they can be used for those chats. Any of these general purpose AI chats, including DeepSeek, can be used for things like brainstorming ideas, strategies, and solutions, doing research, summarizing documents, explaining complex concepts in simple terms, analyzing data, getting feedback and insights on any text, drafting and writing any type of text content, solving complex problems that require multi-step thinking, and so on. And you can do all these and other things with it more efficiently than without it. So that's the huge benefit. And when it comes to, like, if you're using AI chats, if you're not using AI chats yet, and you can live with the security and privacy concerns that I talked about a bit earlier, then DeepSeek can be useful. It can be an option. It can speed up your process of doing things, make more efficient what you're already doing, and give you some new abilities that you were not able to do previously. And also, if you have a large team, it can be useful for cutting costs. Just to quickly go through, like, DeepSeek is free. ChatGPT has a free option, but when it comes to like similar levels, similar capabilities, then DeepSeek is on a similar level to ChatGPT Plus. Not completely, but it's like a similar level. And ChatGPT Plus costs to about exactly $20 per month. And there are higher priced plans for ChatGPT, but the Plus plan seems to be okay for everyday use for most coaches, consultants, and experts. So if you have a small, if you are a solo entrepreneur, or if you have a small team, that the $20 per month cost is not a huge deal. If you have a larger team, you might want to consider the cost of it, what you invest into AI. Okay, the next thing, if you're already using another AI chat like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, and it's already integrated into your workflows, as DeepSeek doesn't have a huge advantage over the other AI chats in the everyday business life. In this case, it's not that useful for coaches, consultants, and experts. So, as I see it, like, instead of jumping on every AI hype train that comes along, I think it's much more important to spend most of your time, most of your AI-focused time, on bringing the most out of your existing and trusted AI tools. that are already integrated into workflows, and get tangible results and more tangible results with that, like saving hours of work each week by getting some repetitive tasks done much more efficiently and quicker with AI. And only spend a small portion of your AI-focused time to explore and experiment with new AI opportunities and new AI tools. Like adding a new AI recurring income stream to your coaching, consulting, or expert business. Related to this one, related to this last one, you can find more info in the description. And now let's talk about when it comes to DeepSeek. I consider it as a potential tool for the future. I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna play with it, but I don't see it as a replacement of my existing and trusted tools, ChatGPT and Gemini. It might be an additional tool, like for example, when it comes to image generation tools, I use 3 different tools, and pretty much I throw in the same prompt in 3 tools and I see which one comes back with better results. So I can see like might be using DeepSeek as an addition to to ChatGPT and Gemini, but not as a replacement. And the thing is that not for now. So I don't see it would be bringing such a huge advantage over the other AI tools, other AI chats. And beyond this research, I'm just planning to focus on much more important things in the business that has higher ROI. So just really quickly, let's go through what can be the wider and long-term impacts, what's happening now. This is my quick prediction for the future. So DeepSeek is now another key player in the AI field. The question is for how long? So they have an advantage and efficiency in training. They grabbed quite a piece of AI market from the users, from users' perspective. But we'll see like how long they can keep this up. So this whole situation, as I see, that the benefits will have benefits and drawbacks. So the benefits, like when it comes to, there's going to be a bigger competition. So another player on the field, there's going to be bigger competition. It will accelerate the AI evolution and innovation. But there's going to be also a drawback and some concerns around it. So the more a new AI, so there's going to be more and new AI hype cycles as we are progressing. It's going to generate more hypes. So as I see it, like because it's another tool, multiple models, new player on the market. For the end users, I think it's going to generate more overwhelm and confusion, like which tool to use, how to use this one, that one, and just more information, more tools, more overwhelm, more confusion. And as I see it, like because of the competition, there is already a huge pressure on AI companies to go fast. And I think this competition is going to create even more pressure, and is going to result in less testing. Companies going to release new models and new tools earlier than they should. And I think that's going to result in some security and other problems as well. And as I see, like US and other AI companies will catch up with DeepSeek. So DeepSeek found a more efficient and cheaper way to train AI models. As it's open source, US companies are going to use the same method. They are going to catch up with DeepSeek. And the next thing they're going to do, because it's going to be cheaper to do it, and they have like some AI companies have more resources and more chips than DeepSeek, they're going to actually aim for even bigger goals and be able to achieve even bigger goals. And as I see, like the demand for chips and data centers and energy and related resources is going to be even higher than now. So like Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO, he tweeted this: German's paradox strikes again. As AI gets more efficient and accessible, we will see its use skyrocket, turning it into a commodity we just can't get enough of. As I see it the same way, that like it is going to be like whatever is happening now, whatever is happening now, and people are going to use it more and more, and easier to access, easier to use. It's just going to generate more demands for the underlying resources like chips, data centers, energies, and other related resources. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to this channel. It really helps. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.